And now we move down to the start of the visitors race. We have the Zürich and Blue Star Club from Switzerland and the Amstel and Proteus-Eretes from the Netherlands. But there is a call from the umpires, both crews moving a little close together there. It's very difficult coming past Temple Island there. There's a little bit of flow in the water. The crews have to be able to preempt. And that's what's one of the brilliant things about this regatta. The river is alive, it's moving, and it's so different, it's so challenging compared to flat water racing.
It's not moving quite as much as it was a couple of days ago, if you saw it, but they've got a better condition today, but it still swirls underneath you. It's deceptive. It can look quite calm on the top there, but still can catch your blades underneath. But it's this Dutch crew, composite crew, that's getting out in front here. Got a real mixture of composites in this race.
And as we move to the live shots now of these two crews, there's still a little blade overlap there. Both crews just in the center of the course, and we can see the umpire reacting now, warning the crews about their steering. But I watched these two races yesterday. In fact, I was commentating these two races. The Zurich and Blue Star Club from Switzerland, they beat Cornell to be here, and the Amstel and Proteus-Eretes Club from the Netherlands beat the George Washington University B crew. And the Dutch crew had a fairly easy sort of race in the end, so I think that they didn't expend too much energy. The Zurich and Blue Star Club had a little bit of a tougher race earlier on, so
it's everything to play for through this. Both crews still at 36. Friday is my favourite day at Henley. This is when the racing really starts to take off. You've kind of got really the crews starting to be much more matched. It's people are really watching the racing. It's before the weekend crowd come down just for the PIMS. And you've got loads of racing, back-to-back racing, overlapping, and I absolutely love Friday at Henley. And this is why. Look at this coming down now, and it's still. It's the Amstel and Proteus-Eretes of Netherlands have led all the way down this course, but as we saw in the previous race, they're still being challenged into the last stages.
And I was speaking to Matt Draper. He's an Australian who coaches at the Z Club, Zurich and Blue Star Club, and he said that they've got quite a number of athletes competing here because the Swiss National Championships are normally on at the same time as Henley, but they were last weekend, which means that we've got a lot of Swiss crews here competing, which is fantastic to see, and a big deal for those guys to be here on the Friday. But it looks like they're going to be possibly outclassed here by the Dutch crew, the Amstel and Proteus-Eretes from the Netherlands. This crew are one of the strongest in the event. They have several internationals on board. There's the Muda twins, Tico and Vincent, who raced in the lightweight men's sport at the 2012 Olympic Games before moving into the lighty double during the 2014 and 15 seasons. Also, Sjoerd de Groot, he raced in the second Dutch men's pair at the first two World Cups this year and was in the men's 8, which finished 6th at the European Championships. So it is a complete international lineup in that Dutch boat.
So the progress boards, we're just passing the 3/4 mile progress board. If you're not been down to Henley and not used to looking at the signals, you can see there the two numbers, 2 and 1 on the 3/4 mile, and they just show you the distances. And it was still showing that the crews were just about overlapping, coming past the 3/4 mile. So here we've got this.
For me, though, these guys are looking pretty relaxed.
Yeah,
you can see them looking around. And
they've got the measure, haven't they?
That's right. And they had that really aggressive start yesterday as well. I think their tactic is to get themselves into a commanding position in the early start of the race and then to relax, because this is exactly the same profile we saw from this Dutch crew yesterday. Hugely aggressive out of the blocks.
They've definitely got the clear water now. And it's a nice story for the currently losing crew here at the back, the Z Club, Zurich and Blue Star Club. The Blue Star Club is actually a new Newcastle University alumni club. So Newcastle Uni have raised up into massive success. They're Victor Ladorum winners at Bucks this year over the past few years, and just formed an alumni club of rowers who want to keep continuing competing. So this crew, this combined crew, have only trained together for 4 weekends, but they won the Swiss Championships last weekend. As you said, didn't clash with Henley for a change, so they've come here to see what they can do. Second round, but I don't think they're going to make it any further. It's a nice story for them, but I think this might be it for this year.
It is a tough ask, though, coming up against this Dutch crew. I mean, got Blink there in the stroke seat. He's a big man, big strong man. He's represented the Dutch team for many, many years. But it seems that this Dutch crew is potentially the athletes who've many of whom have missed out on selection for the Olympic Games.
It sounds like they've got something a bit to prove it. I'm quite surprised they're still, still up at 35. They're still actually racing it with, even though they've got such clear water. They're kind of maybe feeling a bit fresh, but wanted to look good past the enclosures, as many crews do. Even a little bit of a sprint there, I think.
Yeah, look, they did this yesterday as well. They put on a little burn, little bit of a show for the spectators, and I think in match racing, considering the things that can go wrong and how costly that can be, you never want to take anything for granted. But we have a finish there in the Visitors and Challenge Cup. The winners, the Amstel and Proteus-Eretes from the Netherlands, beating the Zurich and Blue Star Club from Switzerland.